Hey, Coach. Noah McGarry, on the Rock here. Could you tell me a little bit about what you've seen from Keldon Johnson through a couple of practices, and what about his game stands out to you?
Oh gosh! First of all, just how easy he is to coach, and you know how quickly he picks up on things. You know, the hard thing about this is we're throwing a lot at these guys, especially the select squad, in a short amount of time, and maybe using different terminology and things like that, and maybe even playing them in a different position than where they played. This prior year, and he's a quick learner, and just so solid. Good feel for the game. Got good size. Good finisher. So been impressed with him in a lot of areas.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. We'll go next to Jerry Tipton.
Yeah, Mark, I wanted to ask you basically the same question about Emmanuel quickly. What sort of a impression has he made on you? How do you see him contributing?
Well, I don't know if you know this about him, but he's currently just holding court as we speak on the ping pong table right outside this interview room, and just what a bolt of energy he is, and plays with a great joy, I guess I would describe it, and a youthful exuberance, and just really impressed with just, obviously his quickness and athleticism, but his decision-making has been just rock solid, and he's been knocking down shots. I've been extremely impressed with him in these 2 days.
Thanks.
We'll go next to Danny Thompson.
Coach Hugh, Danny Thompson with a three-point conversion. Two different questions here. Being part of the USA Select team and coaching these type of players, what do you take and what do you learn as you go back into Gonzaga? And number two, what have you learned or what have you seen from Miles Bridges and PJ Washington in the first couple of days out here in Vegas?
Well, to answer the first part of the question, just an incredible bolt of like professional development for me, which, when you get to my age, those aren't the easiest things to find. And just to sit in the room or a room for the last, I guess it's been 3 or 4 days now, where you have, Greg Popovich, Steve Kerr, Eric Spoelstra, Emi Adaka, Jay Wright. It's Will Hardy, Jamal Mosley, and then even Jerry Colangelo, his wisdom, Lloyd Pierce. I'm just so, it's been an amazing, 4 days of really trying to absorb as much as, because we're talking about the same things we all talk about, right? As staffs, how to guard ball screens, what do we run in transition, and how we approach this and that. And I just love and I have so much respect for how Pop is, for kind of his Socratic method. He gets everybody to talk and involves everybody, and it's been great. It's been a great week. And then the second part of that is Miles has been great. Again, similar to Emmanuel, with the I guess youthful exuberance would be the term that I would use, and big smile, and extremely coachable. And just, man, today I was so impressed with how he finished against the senior team, and just his presence. I think we back in the day scrimmaged against him when he was at Michigan State, and then his ability to knock down threes, and PJ, the same thing. Just I think back to the first point I made, maybe playing out of position with us right now, but so willing and ready, and just gives great effort, and it's one of those forwards that can really, really do a lot of things.
Jason Jones.
Hey, Coach. How you doing?
I'm good. Through all these questions, probably the hardest thing to handle is, why didn't any of these guys go to Gonzaga? Are you kidding me? They're all just like, wow, are they good?
Yeah, I want to ask you a little bit about Tyrese Haliburton. He's a guy, when he got to Sacramento, he kind of just showed some real leadership qualities from day one, besides the what he was able to do on the court. So I want to ask you kind of a two-part. Just one, how does a guy like that walk in and maybe show some leadership in a unique situation like the select team is? And secondly, just how was he fitting in on the court, and how are you able to use him?
Gosh, the first thing that I think our whole staff picked up on with him was just what a great mind he has, and his basketball intelligence, and how quickly he picks up on things, and he's very perceptive about things, and then also great communicator, and is able to share kind of what he sees out on the floor and has actually experienced, and kind of put it into coach speak. So those are two, great aspects to have when you're looking for a leader out there on the floor, because he's kind of connected and understands, what we're trying to get done here. So along those lines, I think that's how he plays. I think the game slows down for him a little bit, and he's got a really, really, really good feel for the game. Again, somebody you can put the ball in his hands at the top, and you feel good about him in a ball screen, but also off the ball. I think he's kind of learning that aspect also.
And we'll go to Ira Winderman.
Mark, I'm just curious, sort of a little off the topic. I'm working with someone like Eric Spoelstra, who's been with the Heat for 26 years, coached since 2008. You have a very similar sort of resume. One place sort of let your teams coalesce, have cohesion. Do you think in sports, whether it's NBA owners and executives, or even in colleges, who don't sort of establish that continuity, whether it's just they want the instant result, the instant gratification? When you look at someone like Eric Spoelstra, what he's been able to do, staying in the same place, being allowed to stay in the same place, can you sort of talk to, whether it's pro or college, how important that is and how you found it over your career? Thank you.
You know what? I think that's just an awesome take by you, because everybody always asks, like on the collegiate level, well, how do we be the next Gonzaga or whatever? And I talk about continuity and how important it is. And I look at San Antonio and how solid they have been, and just that franchise that you hold up there and you want to emulate. You look at Miami, the same, look of, you're in awe of the success they've had, the culture. I think they're both talking about those cultures. Jay Wright and I talk about that a lot. He's been at Villanova forever also. And I think I think that part is lost in our hurry up and fix things, and hurry up and change, or hurry up and get the right answer. It's the kind of society, it's where we're at. But it's just not, in most cases, it's not the instant gratification isn't the right answer for long-term success. And I can just tell you, I coached against, when I was a lowly assistant at Gonzaga, I had the opportunity to coach against Eric Spoelstra when he was at the University of Portland. And he was a great little player there, and super smart and super tough. And this week's been awesome, because he is a great basketball coach in every X and O's. He's an A+. How he delivers his message is A+. How he reads and feels things that are happening in real time is A+. And yet, I think what I spoke of earlier, he's at this thing, learning and asking questions, and from the lowly college guy here. So awesome. Just incredible person, incredible coach.